Lou Dort, and I'm down to dunk. This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
I'm Josh Giddey, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, this is Kenny Hustle, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Darius Baisley, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mike Muscala, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Poku, and I'm down to dunk.
I love cereal. Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cracklin' Oat Bran.
Oh, I can have these. I'm going to share with my team, but I'm going to hog most.
Good morning and welcome to episode 109 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down to dunk and get The Athletic for 30% off. I am Luke, joined this morning by Andrew.
But I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Woo!
Slam through.
And Taylor.
Andrew was so sleepy this morning. We were
Oh,
sitting
my-
outside of his house waiting for.
So sleepy.
I think you were making up for lost sleep. What do you know what you call making up for lost sleep?
Mm-mm.
Melatonement. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Don't tell me to go back to sleep. I would go back to sleep. Easy.
Little Andrew, sleepy pee pee.
Who's the sleepy pee now? Now you know how it feels.
I
Yeah.
do. You know what? I'm eating crow this
You're
morning.
eating a little bit of egg on your face.
There is crow in my eggs on my face this morning.
That is correct. Me and Taylor got here bright and early, right on
What
time.
time? What time did you guys get here?
I got here about 6:04.
Got here about 5:30.
Yeah,
He was here.
you've been waiting for a long time.
And then house
what?
dark.
I
no one
apologize.
there. Andrew sleepy.
I slept through 2 alarms. I slept through my backup alarm even.
Were you dreaming?
Wow.
Were you having good dreams?
I was dreaming something. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Don't talk about your dreams on
I
here,
do
man.
not want to tell you. Actually.
Do not talk about your dreams
It's
on
okay.
this
There's
podcast.
nothing more personal.
I don't share my dreams with people. All right. So the Thunder had the perfect game the other night. The perfect tanking basketball game.
The ending of that game was art. I
It
loved
was.
I loved it.
Was it art or was it fart?
No, it was basketball art. It was the best thing ever. I
Okay.
mean,
Bart.
Shea gets the ball. They inbound it to him. The Pelicans are trying to foul. The last 2-minute report says he indeed did get fouled, but they didn't call it. He just kind of throws up this prayer of a shot from about half court, about 30 feet or whatever. Hits that shot. You think, oh, wow, we're going to overtime. That kind of sucks. and then Devontae Graham hits the longest shot to win a game in 25 years.
Wow.
That's so awesome.
61
They
feet.
win. Yeah,
Something like
61
that.
feet is what the NBA.com tells us.
It was such a whiplash of feeling. It's like, oh yeah, and just like, oh my goodness.
For me, it was like, oh no, oh yeah, you know, it was incredible. Just an incredible way to lose a game. That's how you want to lose. You want to lose like that more than you do the 73
That's
point
true.
loss.
It was actually really cool that they had a shot of like 4 Thunder players right there, right when that
it's
like
so
61
good.
footer went in.
Yeah,
It was like, wow, you never get a camera shot like
It's
this of like the whole team in one shot.
The faces were great.
They were so
Right.
good. Shea just turned around. He was so upset.
poor
He was
Shea.
so upset.
Poor Shea had just hit this incredible shot. And then it all goes away. But it's great news because the Pelicans and the Thunder had the same amount of wins going into that night. And now the Pelicans have one more.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Hooray.
We did it.
We did it.
Good job, team.
There you go, guys. The Thunder currently sit in the reverse standings at 3, at 8 and 19. The Magic are 5 and 24. The Detroit Pistons are 4 and 23.
How do the Magic do it every year, man?
Every single year.
It's
They
amazing.
do it.
Because that's
Yeah.
bad, but that's good.
It's
For
bad.
who?
for them.
I don't know though. They can't. It's like, how many times can it be good before it's just bad? Like, how many seasons in a row can it be good for your team? And then it's like, all right, we don't even know how to draft.
We're obviously
Yeah,
not.
Yeah.
we're
We've
just like
got to
chasing
do
our
something
tail
else.
now.
They had a good draft last year.
Yeah.
They had a good one.
Says you.
Franz Wagner's been really good. I'm still a Suggs guy.
Yeah, but you want a tank like that to get the guy.
They may have gotten a guy.
No, the guy.
Yeah, they didn't get the guy. They didn't get the guy.
No. You can always tank and get a guy. You're probably gonna get a guy every
You
draft.
could have Jonathan Kuminga
That's true.
instead.
Isn't that weird?
It's funny that like the Warriors picked the guy in the middle there. That was just like no, because
Yeah.
there were teams in the top 6 or 8 that were just like, we're not going near Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah.
Like we're not doing that. And he's been fine in limited minutes, and I know Warriors fans are excited about him. But it's funny to think of him. He's going to have to do a lot of work to fit into their team concept. And it took some of those guys years to figure out how to play
Yeah.
with the Warriors. And Kuminga is offensively, like he's a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
And that my guess is it's part of why they didn't want to bring him here,
Mm-hmm.
is that they knew the kind of the mentality that he had. So, but yeah, that draft is really interesting in the top like 8 or so.
You know what else was interesting?
Hmm.
Last night's Poku pack party.
Yeah,
You went to the Poku pack
I was
party.
there.
Tell us about the Poku pack party.
Number one, it was great. Got to meet a lot of dunkers there at the Poku Pack party.
And you got it signed. I think he signed that.
He did multiple. I got 3 fanny packs signed last night. Had my kids take them up to him, and one of them was a small fanny pack that Arden bought. We bought it for him. He didn't buy it. He didn't have money yet. He's 3. But he took it up to him. Poku looked at it and then looked up and was like, "This is not a Poku pack."
Did he sign it?
He signed it.
Wow, that's
He eventually
Oh,
signed it. He's
that's
like,
a lot.
He's like, but I'll still sign it.
That was pretty big of him. Now it is a Poku
Arden was
pack.
crying, by the
Yeah.
way.
Because he said
He was like, he's crying because he doesn't have a Poku pack.
he would be happier with the Poku pack.
He would be happier with a Poku
A
pack.
little too hard on the sell there, though, Poku. I mean, it's a kid. Come on.
Poku was so happy the whole time.
Good.
He was so joyful
Good for him.
to be there. So, yeah, it was good.
Good for him in his first major
Good event.
merchandising
Yeah.
event. you
Yeah,
know?
there were a lot of people there. There was a big line. Like the line went all the way outside. Josh Giddey walked by, didn't know what was happening.
Are you serious?
Mhm.
He was
That's
he did, like
hilarious.
not planned.
Unplanned. He was so his mom came into town.
Uh-huh.
His parents are in town.
Oh, for Christmas. That's nice.
they-
Welcome.
They met at the Coffee Slingers coffee shop next door.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just like walking by. And he was like, "What's going on here?"
Did he eventually figure it out?
And he's like, "Poku's here?"
Selling packs. He's thinking, I'm behind the times. I need to get an article of clothing.
Poku didn't tell his teammates.
Why
Poku-
isn't Poku telling people about his packs?
he didn't tell his
teammates
teammates?
about his
I don't know,
packs?
man.
Is he embarrassed?
I don't know.
He doesn't want them to make their own packs.
That could be
They
it.
don't want competing packs. If there's a moose pack, I mean,
Oh,
there
Moose
goes,
Pack.
there goes
There's a lot of jealousy.
a lot of his packs are could not be sold. Maybe
If Josh starts making like full outfits, he calls them Josh's giddy ups.
Oh my! Here's
Yeah.
the thing: we've got what we have right now. Poku. I don't know if he meant to do this. He started a Thunder player apparel arms race.
Yeah, it is.
They all need
You're right.
that. I think Josh could maybe get some beanies or hats.
Yeah. Jeans.
Oh man.
Jeans. I don't know. Jeans are tough.
Jeans are out.
But but yeah, I'm glad I might swing by and get me a pack today, a Poku pack.
Go get a Poku pack.
Because when I went on vacation, I had a fanny pack, and guess what? It was wonderful.
They're still
Wonderful.
available. Go get you a Poku pack. However, I don't think Poku will be there to sign it,
No.
but you can still get them.
But-
They're pretty cool.
But they have embroidered on it already his signature.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a good artist, you could pretend.
You know,
could
looking at
pretend,
Poku's
yeah.
actual signature next to the
go get
embroidered
it.
the Sitch signature,
He's worked on it.
I think you could pretty easily make it look like Poku signed your pack.
Oh, easily. We'll get it. We're putting it. Andrew's getting it so you guys can look.
Yeah.
There it is. Poku embroidered. Poku's signature.
That's embroidered, and then Andrew's kid tried to copy it next to it.
Here's the thing. It's a beautiful piece of apparel right there.
It really is
functional. It's very becoming. And it is and it has a lot of storage.
Coming.
Don't be caught without it.
Poku come.
Yeah, it's cool.
Stop that.
All right. So
You know what fanny means overseas?
Taylor.
What were you gonna say?
It's Christmas. It means butt.
so the Thunder bench, it's trade season. The Thunder bench played really, really well in that game. If they would have won, if they would have maybe won in overtime, the Devontae Graham shot doesn't go in. They win in overtime. We're sitting here talking about the bench. We're talking about Mike Muscala putting in 16 points in like 4 seconds. We're talking about Kenrich Williams hitting a career high 5 3-pointers in a game.
5 of 6, right?
5 of 6. He's now shooting 42% on the season.
It's crazy.
What are the chances you guys think that these guys get traded before the trade deadline, beginning of February?
It would be strategic trades. So you'd trade the better players. I think you get. I don't know if you have to trade Moose because clearly you can just control like how much he affects a game, and he doesn't seem to mind that much.
You don't have to let the Moose loose.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can. This is a highly trained Moose.
It's an optional looseness.
Yeah,
Restrain the Moose.
Restrain the Moose.
They have full control of this Moose. Kenrich, though, I don't know. That's a guy who's like younger in his NBA career, and I don't know. He might appreciate it. He may not care as much as I might worry that he cares about, but maybe that's a guy you can get some future assets for.
Would you trade? What would you want in return for a Kenrich Williams?
Oh, I don't know. More picks.
You just want more picks.
I don't know.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Greedy.
Or like maybe a young rookie that isn't really getting a lot of getting a lot of playing time.
Alex and I went through a list on Wednesday of guys. There's some interesting trade candidates. I don't know that they're going to trade either one of them. I think I'm under the impression that these guys are good for development for the guys on this team, especially coming off the bench when it's like Trey Mann coming in the game. If you take Kenrich and Mike off the team, like who's he playing? Like who are they playing with then?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll play with maybe if they only brought in picks, which is possible. Then like you play minutes with Vít Krejci, you know?
Yeah. The thing with them, and
Gabby
you're right,
Jack.
they are just coming off the bench, but it's my mic.
No,
Nope.
it's not.
It's really
Yeah,
not.
don't
It's
shake
better
it.
now.
Okay. Even though they are just coming off the bench in limited minutes at times, you still are playing with fire because when they do come off the bench, sometimes it doesn't take long for them to really shift a game in the right direction for SGA, the wrong direction for Thunder franchise and fans.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's a dilemma. It's an actual dilemma that they have because I do think that they could get something for Kenrich at the trade deadline. I'm not sure they could get a whole lot for Moose. I think it's probably better to just keep him here. I still feel like they should just keep both of them. I think you're losing enough as is. I mean, if you stay in the 3rd spot, if that's where they were and they kept those guys, that's great. Because I just think that the moment, like how many years do we need a Kenrich Williams on this team? Like, like with the KD Russ teams.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's the problem.
Like he would have started
oh yeah.
on those teams.
It's the same conversation we'd had about Dort
And
maybe
played
a
a
year
ton.
ago, or even this year. Before we knew, like, okay, Dort's here. That's a guy we want long term. We've talked about
Yeah.
earlier. Do we want to trade him? And it was the same conversation. This is the guy we've wanted on this team for when the team is good for a long, long time.
Yeah. I would, if they trade him, and we're good in 3 years.
You're gonna regret it.
But
Yeah.
we need a wing. I'm like, you know what? We had Kenrich Williams.
Yeah.
we had. However, if they lose like a ton next year and then get Wembanyama, like I can't complain then. You know,
Have you seen the popular movie Austin Powers?
many
I
times.
think we need to freeze him and thaw him out
Hmm.
in the year 2025.
Yeah, I mean, even 2024.
Yeah.
If he just
I agree.
emerged from his cryo chamber.
Uh-huh. We just got to watch out because you know what happens. Happens all the time when you're in there. People steal your mojo.
His mojo could be stolen.
Yeah, and you can't. He has to have the mojo. You know what Taylor
I feel
looks
bad.
like?
I feel bad for
I've
his
lost
wife.
my mojo.
Look what Taylor looks like. He looks like a professional wrestler. Sami Zayn.
Oh,
That's
Do
you.
I?
Yes, you're dressed
Oh,
exactly like you're dressed
cool.
exactly like him.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
so
Thank you.
The Thunder just finished up a really soft spot in their schedule. They had Washington, Houston, Memphis, Detroit, Toronto, Lakers, Dallas, New Orleans, and they got 2 wins out of that whole thing.
I think that's
Woohoo!
awesome.
It's very good. Their upcoming schedule: Clippers, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Suns, New Orleans in New Orleans, Sacramento, Suns, Knicks, Mavericks. That's until January 2nd.
How many wins do you want to see during that time?
1.
That would be wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, they may get more than that. Also, we just don't, I mean, with all the COVID protocol stuff going on in the league, we don't know who's going to be playing when. I mean,
crazy.
the Thunder have had 0 problems this year, which in a perfect world, that's a great advantage for you. You know, just to have guys available to play basketball is a huge advantage for you. So it'll be interesting because, like the Kings, for instance, you would think by the 28th when they play the Kings that the Kings would be okay, but
You never know.
honestly, you don't know.
Only time will tell.
Only
Are
time will
you
tell.
are
It's
you
only time.
implying that it would be helpful if there was a COVID outbreak? With the Thunder?
Taylor, come on. It's Christmas.
No, would never do that. It's Christmas.
It's
Okay.
Christmas, man.
It's
Sorry.
Christmas. No, it's great. I mean, I'm glad they haven't.
Yeah.
Honestly, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, you don't know who you're playing from night to night. Like, you know who the teams are, but you don't know who you're playing. Clippers here tomorrow night. Paul George has not been playing the last few games. However, the Clippers have still been playing pretty well. So I'll be interested to see if we get PG in OKC.
Welcome back.
What's
get a
the
welcome.
what's the reception like for Paul George?
I think it's class.
I think it's
class.
I think it's classy indifference. That's a golf clap.
Classy indifference is
Classy indifference.
is the perfect way to
Classy
describe
indifference. I have no feelings, positive or negative, about Paul George.
I have positive feelings because he did allow them to make the trade. Because he could have gone to the Clippers the year before. He could have gone to the Lakers the year before. He stayed with the team,
Yeah.
re-signed, came back. Like that allowed them to get Shea, to get all the picks,
Yeah,
to have
sure.
like a proper reset.
Okay,
So I have positive feelings about Paul George, even though he left and didn't play out his contract here. He honestly did the best thing for the franchise because where was the Paul George Westbrook team going?
yeah.
on a scale of negative
To
10
hell.
being I'm
Yeah.
very negative feelings, 10 being a positive.
Yeah.
He's sitting with me at about a 2. I'm like, okay.
Oh, more negative?
Really?
No, 2, not negative 2. Negative 2 would be negative. Positive 2.
Oh, so you're going negative 10
To
to
10.
10.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because the negatives are
what a weird
negative
scale.
feelings. That's
That is a weird scale.
I'm at a 2. I'm at a 2.
Okay. That's good.
Thanks.
That's good. Yeah.
I wish him nothing.
And that's the end. All right.
St. John's factoid figure victory. St. John's factoid
Remix.
victory.
Bring it back.
Factory miffed.
Welcome to 10 Shots Factoid Victory. According to not a lot of reputable sources, Kyrie Irving would be open to getting a plant-based vaccine in order to get back on the court.
Impossible vaccine.
Yeah, the impossible or the beyond vaccine.
Well, beyond vaccine.
Yeah.
Beyond
We'll see. We'll see who gets there first.
beyond vaccine.
So I have a question for you. Is there anything in your life that you believe in so much that you will not be moved or swayed no matter the circumstance?
I do. I have 3 things. And I'm one is a new discovery that I've had.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's a really, because it has with it a really good explanation that I just like, that's true. I don't
Okay.
care. And I will listen to no information about it not being.
Mhm.
Right now on the shelves, the local liquor store, there's a lot of bourbon barrel wines.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And what I've heard is actually they're not stored in bourbon barrels and like done like that and aged or whatever. That's what they say on the bottle.
Yeah.
What it actually is all the smoke from like the fires a few years ago affected the grapes and it gives them a smoky flavor and it's branding. And I believe that. Someone told me that. I was like, I believe that. Nothing I can hear will make me
Wow.
change that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Uh-huh. That's my current new one. Second, I'm never going to 100% believe that we landed on the moon.
Okay.
Do you believe it?
Yes.
100%. You have no doubts.
I believe
it's
it.
hard for me to believe anything 100%, but as far as
Yeah.
my beliefs go, I believe it.
Yeah, I believe that it happened. I also don't ever think about it.
I never think about it.
I thought about it yesterday when Taylor asked this question, and I think about it. I also don't believe the Helen Keller story. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay? I'm sorry if that's an unpopular opinion. I don't believe it.
A hot topic.
And
today.
there's nothing really you could tell me to make me believe it.
It really was hard to understand as a child.
Because
The story.
she can't hear or see, yet
Mhm.
she's able to communicate. I do not believe that.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And then I've pulled up YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I believe it even less now. I've
Really?
seen it. I think it's a con
Of her?
of her person. You know, she had a person
Yeah.
who was interpreting for her and like
Yeah.
talking. And so Helen Keller will say something, and then the person will interpret it. And she's like, "That's not what she said.
Yeah.
I'm just making up what she said."
Wow.
I don't believe it.
That's a pretty good scam because now it is taught in public schools as if it is.
She touched water and she said water. How? How? I don't get it.
Wow. Oh.
That's a really, you're making me. I might have to come back next week with an opinion on this.
And I like
do my own research. You know.
Yeah.
You're free to. If call me, I will talk to you about it. I believe. I'm cannot be swayed.
Okay. Okay. It's hard for me to. I'm not even gonna
I know.
argue with you because
Wow.
you're making me think about it. You know.
Oh.
Interesting.
Uh-huh. Okay, Andrew, what's yours?
Well, I believe in God. You're not going to sway me from that. And I also believe that the Thunder would have won the championship if Patrick Beverly didn't run into Westbrook's knee.
That year.
Firmly believe it.
Yeah.
Like I count it as a championship in my head. Thanks a lot, Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly is also like the number one idiot in the NBA.
Cannot be swayed.
Classic.
Cannot be swayed on.
You can't
that
be swayed
belief.
on that. Number
Classic
one,
idiot.
classic idiot. There's nothing that you can say that would make me feel differently
Yeah.
about Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got his top shot a few times. Sell it immediately.
I just try to delete it.
Yeah.
I just hit delete.
Just driving down the number. Sell it. Give it away.
Yeah.
I want it.
Yeah.
Taylor, what was your answer?
I believe that the best way to consume Nutella is on wheat toast with slices of bananas.
Okay. Have you had it on a croissant?
Yes, I have.
Isn't that good?
It is good. It is not the best way.
It is good though.
It is good. It is not the best way.
I
I
know-
also believe Nutella is the number one spreadable chocolate.
What is going on here? Is there an ad here?
Taylor's Life is recently brought to you by Nutella. I don't know that I've ever had Nutella.
What?
Ever.
That's more shocking
That's
than the Helen
weird.
Keller take.
I've never had it. I would love to.
You know what's gonna happen, Luke?
Huh.
You'll never have had Nutella before, and you will touch it and you'll say Nutella.
Nutella.
You'll just know if
Just
it's
know.
Nutella.
Nutella.
I also believe this. We don't really know what McDonald's is supposed to taste like. The original McDonald's burger, fries, anything like that. Because
Do we know what anything was originally supposed to taste
Yeah.
like? What do you mean?
I feel like if
What
you
does
think
that
about
mean?
like okay, when you think about McDonald's, it has tasted basically the same your whole life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'd argue the opposite. I argued that you know exactly what McDonald's tastes like.
Yeah, now for you, but that was they formulated that flavor based on what Americans have wanted. Now, the McDonald's today, there's just no way that is what McDonald's
No.
tasted like.
Yeah,
before.
no. Yeah, I agree with you. But
But it's
They're not
tasted
trying.
the same since we were 5.
yeah, but they're not trying to. They're trying to taste like
If you go to Mexico and eat McDonald's,
I've got a grab bag of stuff because I've been gone for a while.
Oh man, where have you been?
One, when we went to, I'm on an elevator right now. When we went and had the live pod Thunder game down to Dunk night,
Yeah.
multiple people talked to me about how much they enjoy my wrestling takes.
Yeah.
oh,
Multiple.
multiple
And
people.
I thought no one enjoyed them.
We have at least 4 people that enjoy the wrestling takes.
Oh,
multiple is
yeah.
more than one.
2.
And
2 whole people.
more than 2 that night talked to me about it. And I felt good. I'm also going to WrestleMania. I'm very excited about that. Also, you guys know Eamon Shumpert won Dancing with the Stars?
I didn't know he won. I knew he was on it.
He was very good.
Yeah. Eamon.
Eamon Shumpert.
Iman.
Yeah.
Iman?
Iman.
Iman.
Im-
He was very
Iman?
good. He was
Iman.
very good. And the
Iman.
thing that was best about it,
Shumpert.
are you guys Dancing with the Stars?
Am I Dancing with the Stars?
Uh-huh.
No.
Are you a guy Dancing with the Star guy?
I've never seen it.
Are you Dancing with the Star guy?
No, Dancing with the Stars.
Not really, but I watched this season because The Miz was on it.
Oh,
And he was one of the worst. But by the end, he was one of the best.
one of the best.
He was really good.
You know, he's used to overcoming adversity and learning.
It's
and
true.
adapting.
He did. He got the mirror ball trophy. That's the trophy they won at the end.
Wow.
A lot of
It's
people,
impressive.
A lot of people didn't think Shumpert would be much of a pro.
Well,
pretty good pro.
Proving them wrong.
A lot of people didn't think he'd be much of a dancer either.
Yeah.
Proved them wrong.
Good for you, Iman.
If you guys are thinking you want to go see one, you should watch. They had a Halloween episode, and he had one based on the movie Us, and it was very good. That's when he started to really shine.
Wow.
Yeah, he got all 10s.
First, I thought you were about to say the movie Up.
It's based on the movie Up. He was
The bird.
he was the old man, and his dancing partner was the dog.
And his dancing partner was the little kid.
The little kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's it. That's my grab bag right now. You guys have anything else you want to ask me? You haven't seen me in so long.
Yeah.
You don't have any asked how I've been. I've been great. I've been great. That was my deep dive. I'm good.
We'll be right back after this quick break.
Oh Lord.
Oh, sorry, I had to go.
All right, we're back after the quick break, and now it's time for some
Twitter questions.
Our first Twitter question comes from @SmellyFartBox88, who wants to know, will Mike be on the team post All-Star break?
Yes, I think so.
I think he's in for the long haul.
I think so too.
I don't think he's going nowhere.
No, I think he loves being here. The team loves having him here.
Yeah.
He's helpful. He's helpful for development just in that like he and Kenrich are the only guys that can shoot.
I hope he's here. I hope we all hope that.
44% this season.
Our next Twitter question comes from @MiguelDevella25, who wants to know, is JRE a thick daddy or thick baby?
Oh, you're reading last week's question.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Well, I don't see the new ones. Should I get on Twitter and answer
Yeah, I
those?
tagged you in the new ones. I was like, man, that question sounded so familiar,
Look at me.
but also like such a common Mike Muscala question that it could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been this week too.
Okay, here we go.
He's a thick baby, by the way.
He's a thick baby. Okay. Now, our first Twitter question after the blasts from the past is from @ZachDeeg, who wants to know, if OKC had gotten 1 and 5, who do you think they would have drafted? Imagine.
Oh man,
SGA, Dort, Giddy. Who cares?
What a-
Mobley lineup.
what a painful thought. They probably take Evan Mobley number 1, and then number 5. My guess they would have taken Giddey still.
Yeah.
It's possible they take Jalen Suggs, but my guess is that they take Giddey at that spot. So you just add Mobley to this team, which is a painful thought. So thank you for that on this Friday morning.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that pain. Hey, our next Twitter question comes from @MiguelDevella25, who wants to know, why am I scared of the Thunder drafting Chet? Is it because of my Poku trauma?
Without a doubt, it's the Poku trauma. It's the skinny guy who does a lot of things. He's, 7 feet, can handle, can do all these kinds of things. The big difference between Poku and Chet, and I cannot emphasize this more, is Chet's willingness to get in there and mix it up with everybody. I mean, I went and watched Poku live in person the other day with the Blue downtown. Got front row seats to it. He just wanted no part of mixing it up with anybody. When he get close to the basket, the ball would have to basically bounce in his area for him to reach up and get it. He's not trying to move anybody around. He's not trying to use his body at all. He doesn't draw fouls. Like, none of that's happening because I don't think that he wants to get in there and use his body. And some of that is that he will get tossed around. There's no doubt about that. But still, like, he's very unwilling. Chet he's very different. And the mentality that Chet has is very different. Like, Chet is a killer. And also Chet is like an elite shot blocker and going to be an elite defender at the NBA level, where Poku has the instincts to do it, but he hasn't done that yet. So I think there's a lot of differences between them. Also, Poku's more of a wing, Chet's more of a big. It's just the fact that they're just so incredibly skinny. But I think that if Chet was in the league this year, and it's funny, they're like basically the same age, that you would see the difference. There's a clear difference. It would also make the Thunder the most wacky team in the league if they got Chet added to this team.
It would be wacky. Maybe he could teach Poku how to get in there and mix it up.
It's an element that he's missing. Obviously, the number one element is shot making that Poku is missing.
Yeah.
But if he was more willing to do that, and he is getting bigger. Like, Poku's a lot bigger than he was last year. I think he could handle a little bit more. So
there was some old player where they were described as being 3 years away from being 3 years away.
yeah,
That's always how I've kind of felt about Poku.
Poku was, yes. And this is only year 2. Like, we have to remember that with
Yeah.
Poku. And he's
He's
not
young.
even 20 yet.
Yeah.
He turns 20 in 9 days.
20 in 9 days?
Yeah.
Is he a Christmas baby?
He's a 26th
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that's the worst.
post-Christmas baby.
Christmas, you got to feel bad for even that.
That's a tough day to have a birthday, isn't
because you can't have a birthday party. Your friends are all doing Christmas.
it? Yeah.
And guess what? Getting gifts and it's birthday and Christmas,
Yeah.
which is BS.
It's overload.
It's too much.
And you also know that you're probably getting like 20% less than you would have if your birthday was in June.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's like
yeah.
we can't justify spending the same amount. If you get that spaced out a little bit, you have forgotten how much you spent at Christmas, you're going to get a little bit more.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I had a cousin that was a Christmas baby.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I was like, this is awesome. He's getting double the presents. But then I grew older and I was like, this is terrible.
This is terrible for
This
him.
is terrible. It's really bad.
You only get one chance. And what if you change your likings halfway through the year? Because as a kid, your likings can change pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. They can change on a dime.
You're like, I loved Digimon
Oh
at Christmas, and I have all this Digimon stuff, and now I think Digimon is no good.
Here's the problem. Is that's just growing up. Like I know my friends that our parents like, oh, my kids, we're having a Paw Patrol party. And then like the week before the party, they're like, I don't like Paw Patrol anymore. I like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And the parents like have an attic full of Paw Patrol stuff. Like, oh no. What do I do? So it's tough.
It is.
It's tough.
Poor
But
Poku.
poor Poku, go out there and support him buying the pack for his Christmas.
His Christmas birthday.
Hey, our next Twitter question comes from @StuckOnMorrow, who said he's coming to a game for the first time since the Now I Do What I Want season, where
Wow.
Westbrook had a triple-double at half. Where should he and his best friend eat? That's a great question.
What do you think, El Man?
Um,
If you're wanting something quick before the
Quick.
game, walkable.
Walkable. That's not what I want, but I understand the
But
want.
if you do, and still like very good,
I think there's.
I would say Spark is like a great place.
I haven't been yet.
We've been 3 times.
It's good.
It's very good.
What is the pink sauce? What is that?
Very
what kind
good.
of sauce is that?
We've had it. It's like kind of like garlicky.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's good. It's very good.
If I were to say something in walkable, and because that is very walkable, I would do that. It's like the newest little
Spot. It's
spot.
the north end of Scissors Hill Park.
Yeah.
Very
And if you haven't been there since downtown since then, I don't know where you live. It sounds like maybe you're coming from out of town. See Scissors Hill Park. It wasn't.
It's
there.
about to blow your mind.
About to blow your mind. Yeah, walk around, enjoy it. But that's where I would say too. I think that's a very good thing. I've also recently rediscovered the Mule.
Oh yeah,
Love
it's
it.
a staple. It's always good.
It's always good.
Always
It's great.
It's
You
not that
gotta go.
far from the arena either. You
It's
got
really not.
You got to drive it, but it's not that
Drive it.
far.
Drive it. Yeah, but I would agree with that. Okay, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from @MattChatWX, who says, based on @Red94 account and other Rockets Twitter, Thunder made one of the worst trades in history, passing on Sengun. Is this actually true, or are they desperately clinging to his hope since he's one of the few under 25 players they have contributing decently?
So Sengun is going to be a good player. Like I don't think that anybody doubted his ability to play in the NBA. The reason he fell was because of his overall size for the center position. He's undersized, and the defense is a giant question mark with him, and those are still giant question marks with him. He's doing all the things that people thought he would. Like, he's a good rebounder, he's a good passer, he can score the basketball, but the question, and this is why I still am a little glad that they didn't take him, is that he's going to make a lot of money in his career. There's no doubt that Alperen Sengun is going to make a lot of money. So you're going to have to contribute a lot of resources to him. And then, is he a guy that once you get to the playoffs, like right now, it's fine. Like they have 9 wins, like whatever. Like you can play whoever, it doesn't really matter. But when like the stakes are high and everything matters, like he is like Cantor-like on the defensive end. So like, what do? He can't. He has to be. Is he a bench big? Okay, fine. If he's your starting center for your team, your defense is going to have to come from somewhere else. And it's not coming from Jalen Green. Like, we know that for a fact. So now you have like 2 weak spots in your rotation on defense. Like, it's just harder to build that way. I'd rather have a center that can defend. Like, that's just, I mean, like a Chet would be a much better starting point for you than Şengün. Also, the fact remains the Thunder got 2 first-round picks, and we don't know what those are going to be.
Yeah, that's the hard thing because like once we have them and we see like who those players are and what those become, well, I hope we're like, great trade.
Yeah.
Or, that was genius. So good. But right now, when we have 2 future picks that aren't anything right now, they're just, ideas, and he's playing, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah. It's fine. And I mean, a lot of people are like, well, like the only way to justify this is like comparing him to JRE or comparing him to somebody else. It's like, listen, like just like you should probably just stop, because the comparing player stuff across the board is like ultimately like one of like the more toxic things on Twitter,
Yeah.
honestly, because it just doesn't, it's not going to get you what you want. Like they made the trade. It was a process oriented trade. They offered way more than anyone would ever offer for the 16th pick in the draft, and they took it. And that's that.
It's why the process that what we're doing is so hard, because it's like, like that's a person now that can play on the team now and contribute now. When
Yeah.
that's not necessarily what we want, but
And there'd be minutes for him.
yeah,
There'd be a lot of minutes for him. And honestly, like if he were on this team, we'd probably love him because of the passing. And you'd be like, oh my goodness, look at all the passing they have with Giddey and Şengün, and look how much better SGA is as a passer. And I mean, there's a lot. We would be excited about him. There's no doubt about it. But I think ultimately, and McKelly talked about this even before the season started, that like if his ceiling, like people think his ceiling is like Jokic, like Jokic is giant, and Şengün is not that as big as Jokic, but Jokic is like an elite scorer, an elite passer. He's not the worst defender. His feet aren't that bad. And if he becomes that, then like clearly the Thunder made a huge mistake, and there's a chance they made a huge mistake. After watching him, I've seen him live in person twice. I'm not convinced that they did. Now, will he be a productive player in the NBA for a long time? I believe he will be, yes. But you also have to ask yourself the question, is he the type of player you want to build around?
Yeah. Also, shout out to Snow E. Leopard, who asked basically the same question.
Shout out.
Okay, our next Twitter question comes from @Alex_Bowlerjack, who wants to know, what are some underrated superpowers?
This is like L-Man's. This is your area of expertise.
Here is the one that's been, I always think it's most underrated, because it's not like a big superhero.
Yeah.
He's had his own stuff, like his own comics, and they have been good. It's Multiple Man. Anytime force hits his body, like if he snaps or claps or he gets punched in the face, 2 of him, he makes an exact clone of himself.
Oh.
Right? So if he's in a fight against you and he just goes, you're fighting now 6 guys.
Wow.
And they all have they're his same size, his same size, have his same powers, everything. So that by itself is, a cool power.
How do you get them? How do you get all back to 1?
He can reabsorb them.
Okay.
And take them back. But the thing that his power is when he reabsorbs them, he gets their knowledge and the skills that they've had.
Oh.
So what he's done is he has sent them out to, like, one has gone out and become a doctor, one has gone out and become like a physicist, one has gone out and become like,
wow. So this is like multiplicity, but like good.
Yes. And then they come back after their journey to do that, and he reabsorbs them, and so he has a huge amount of knowledge. He's very proficient. And like he sent one to learn like karate, one to learn kickboxing, and he reabsorbs them, and he has all that. And then once he has it, if he makes a copy, they have it too.
Wow.
And so it's very underrated, because when you think he just makes a copy of himself, it's like, that's lame. Like,
yeah,
he's just a regular guy. But what they've done and taken it is really good. Underrated superpower.
Man, I would love to have that superpower. That's honestly maybe one of the best. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Because like just imagine you're like, man, we need to get the house clean. I'm going to clap 30 of me and the house will be
Just
clean
done.
in 10 minutes.
The only problem is this. Gumby had a similar thing where he made a clone of himself and he sent the Gumby clone to school.
Yeah.
Well, Gumby stayed home, watched TV, and ate junk food and got really fat.
Yeah.
And
There is a scenario.
and then he
of that.
couldn't go out because everybody like, Gumby, you've made a copy of yourself.
Yeah.
He couldn't go out and enjoy himself because he was so
So what
fat.
happens if you send one to the gym and then you reabsorb him?
Um,
do you get the workout?
Yes, you do.
Wow.
Yeah. And so,
Okay, yeah, keep going.
and so he has some that are just like working out all the time. He's some that are surgeons. He has some that are, going out and doing all this stuff. One is a preacher in Texas.
Wow.
And like he's gone out and he's had to go out at one point and find them all and like get them back together. But it's a very good superpower.
Man, see, I could have sent one of myself to the Thunder game the other night, one of myself to the Daily Ding at home watching all the games, and another one of myself volunteering at my church all at once.
And the other go sleep.
The other one's sleeping,
Rest up.
gaining some sleep for me, and then I reabsorb and I've done it all.
It would be awesome.
I would love that. That is a very, and it's not only is it underrated, it's extremely practical.
That's right. That's right. I would have it. That's the one I would have. If I had to pick one, I'd do that. Okay.
Who is that?
Multiple Man.
Multiple Man.
Yes. Jamie Maddox, the Multiple Man. That's his name. He's an X-Men character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Our next Twitter question comes from @Benevolent King, who wants to know if you could market your own branded article of clothing or accessory, what would it be?
Oh man, this is a good one. Maybe some athletic shorts. I wear athletic shorts almost exclusively all the time.
You tried Lululemon?
I need to try Lululemon.
They're very good.
Okay.
Yes.
I got to try that.
Yes.
Okay.
Add it to your Christmas list.
All right, it's on the Christmas list. Yeah, that's something that I would like to have.
I think a good swimsuit would be good.
What's the style?
Patterned, like a pattern.
But I mean, like shorter.
shorter, not board shorts.
Yeah, not board
Shorter.
shorts. Yeah, board
Shorter.
shorts out.
Because man, a good swimsuit is so key. And
Would you just have it say L Man on them?
there'd be some branding.
Yeah.
There'd be some branding on it. But yes, it would be good. I would do a swim
We both
suit.
we both chose bottoms.
Bottoms. Well, you gotta have you don't have to have a top.
You don't.
You gotta have a bottom.
100% true.
All right, let's move on to another Twitter question. Okay. Andrew comes from @DortPoy, who wants you to describe your emotions during the last 2 seconds of the Pelicans Thunder game. He has a roller coaster emoji.
Yeah, it went from being like, oh man, that was a cool shot, Shea, but overtime, man, that's terrible. Then the shot goes down and I am elated. I am on cloud 9 whenever that Devontae Graham shot goes through. It is incredible. Incredible.
Let's go to this next Twitter question. It's from @Pacman Tomlinson, who says, would you trade for Sabonis if he accepted sitting on the bench for the remainder of this season? And then this emoji.
Oh, what a preposterous thought.
Bringing you in.
Hey, we want you to come to OKC, not play basketball. We'll pay you to not play basketball for the rest of the year. No, I would not. It would just take a lot to get him. Like, what's the trade that Indy ends up accepting from the Thunder? I mean, you'd have to give up. I'm not willing to give up Lou Dort in the trade.
No.
And that's probably like the minimum they ask. I think that first they're like, hey, SGA for Sabonis feels good to us. They're like, no. Okay, what about Josh Giddey? The Thunder are like, no way. And then they're like, okay, we'll settle for Lou Dort. You have to do Lou Dort. And still, I'm like, no, because the center position is easier to fill. Sabonis is really good, and he'd be great with this particular team. But Lou Dort, to me, is too valuable to give up in that trade. Then what do you have that Indy would want? Like outside of those three, it's nothing, So I don't think that a trade makes sense in general, unless they were just wanting picks back, and obviously the Thunder have a boatload of picks. But yeah, I'm not I'm really just not interested because if he were a top 3 center, one, they don't trade him. But then it's like, okay, you can build around that. But he's like, what is he, the 9th best center in the league? I don't know. Like, that's where I'm just like, I don't know.
Okay. This can be the last Twitter question if you want.
Sure.
It's also on a really weird note. It's from at Ethan Nickel 4, who wants to know how many games would this team win if we added Kevin Durant?
That is a sick question. A lot. The answer is a lot. Shea is the second best player. Dort is your third best guy. You'd play Kenrich a ton. You'd play Muscala a ton. They would be like, I mean, they'd be better than Memphis. I mean, this is I don't want to talk about Kevin Durant, but this is a way to illustrate like how much having a top level player in the league matters. Because I mean, the truth is that there are very few players in the NBA that really, really matter. This is part of why like I don't really care about the Şengün thing, because the odds of Şengün like really, really mattering and being a guy that you can't just replace is very low, like extremely, extremely low.
Yeah.
And why, if the Thunder could just get one in the next 2 drafts, if they can just get one guy that really, really matters in the NBA, it changes everything for you. It changes every single thing for you.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if Chet is one of those guys. I don't know if there's even one of those guys in this next draft period. I don't know. I mean, it could end up being Jabari Smith. It could be Paolo. Like, we don't know. If they decide it's Jaden Ivey or Kendall Brown or whoever, like it could be one of those guys. There's a chance that there's not any of those guys. In the following draft, though, a lot of people are already deciding that there's multiple players that really matter. And that's why you want to wait. And people are like, we can't wait because of Shea. Like, stop that. Because if you added one player that really mattered to this team, the acceleration over the next couple of years of having that kind of guy would be tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to hold off as long as you can. And if they can do it for 2 more drafts, I think that they will have a decent shot of getting somebody that like truly matters in this league. Like, you can stack. Sometimes you can stack guys that are kind of like middling on top of each other, and you become a good team. Like, lots of teams do that. That's why most teams are in the middle. It's because they just stack player on player on player. All right, we're now the 5th seed. Cool. You want to jump the middle as much as possible. And the way you jump the middle is by getting elite talent. That's just how you do it.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do it already.
All right. Thanks so much for listening to our pod. We will be back on Monday with more Thunder podcasting. Until then.
Hey, don't be miffed and creeped. Don't be miffed and creamed. It's Christmas.
Don't be miffed and creamed. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas, for goodness sake.